Hello? Pastor Hudak, would you get a quiet for me?
Everyone pay attention to Mr. Kurz.
Oh, yeah. They want me to stand on a stool. I am standing on a stool.
Right behind you.
Anyway, what?
The stool is right behind you.
I don't need a stool, Pastor Hudak. It's like this is where I met you, right here. In me a red gym shoes, walking on my clean, waxed floor.
That's another story.
Wet.
That's
I
another
won't tell
story.
anymore. We are here, and I'm going to get emotional. I apologize for that. Mr. Flett was my best friend. We grew up in college together. Lord, I'm sorry. And when I was out teaching in Marengo, he said, "Why don't you come here and teach with me?" I said, "I don't know, Flett." And he said, "Come on." And I interviewed, and I've been with him ever since. And then Lori came along, and he pushed me off to the side. I don't blame you, Lori. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. When the Bible passage was read, that Pastor Duff read about the little children coming into him, if you know anything about Doug Flett, that's what he did, didn't he? He wanted the kids around him. When we first started this he started in 71 here, I believe. I came in 72. And he pulled me off to the side and he says, "Kirsch, here's what we're going to do." He called me Kirsch. And I called him Flett. He said, "We are going to have the best physical education department in the Lutheran system. We are going to have the best athletic teams." Well, some of you, we tried. But that was his goal. Any kid that walked through that gym door, Flett loved. Right? He loved them dearly. I don't care whether you had arguments with him or not. And some of you might have. He loved them. There were times when Flett and I would coach together. That was not a pretty idea. And I don't remember which age level it was. But we were down in the gym. He's the head coach, and I'm here. And we had a slight disagreement. So we took it off into the office up here after the game was over. And that was when the two rooms, Pastor Hudak's office was the first one. And then the principal at that time, I think was Bill Dunk, was over there. And then the middle two rooms were wide open with the table and chairs in the middle. Our disagreement turned into a fist fight. I'm not kidding you. On comes the door. Knock, 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 knock. "Mr. Flett, Mr. Kurz, you guys okay?" "Yeah, we're great." That was who Flett was. He loved his kids. He would always tell them, be polite, be kind, and if you don't do what I say, you're going to pay for it. Right? He was tough. But he was dearly, dearly loved his kids. And some of you guys that are older alumni that didn't know Flett, you were blessed that way. I didn't say that out loud, Lori. I'm sorry.
I won't disagree with you.
You won't disagree with it? But he did. And the one thing you got to know, he was a humble man, believe it or not. He was very humble. You would see, if you walk out the door, when you walk out tonight, and you see the box, what's that firebox called where the keys are in the building? Knock box. You'll see a little black mark above that. You know what that is? That's Flett's cigar. He parked it there all the time. Pastor Hudak said he used to park it on top on his windowsill out here.
Blow it in.
And blow it in. And he just loved that cigar smoke. Just constantly loved it. But we had a friend, and have a friend in our hearts, who loved kids. No matter what he did, they were first. I go down and say, "Flett, we got to do this." He says, "No, that's not good for the children." And we'd have our disagreement. And usually he won that discussion. So this Jim, as humble as he is, he would say, "You know what? I don't want this." Right, Lori? This is something Flett would hate with a passion. And you guys are doing it anyway. Shame on you. Oh, Laura Hamlin, is that what you're doing, getting back at him now?
Yeah.
You gay, all of you, right? We're getting at him. No. But he's not that way. He would rather walk off in the background, right? And have nothing but kind, loving words. How many of you didn't get his kind, loving words sometimes? Yeah, okay. Some of you remember those, right? Anybody want to share them with me? Never mind. Never mind.
His love outweighed those
Do what?
moments. His love outweighed those moments.
His love outweighed the windows. Yeah.
Moments.
Do you remember the windows in the gym? Some of you might. And we would sit on the side and Flett would sit over there and the water would be pouring off the windows because it was thawing out from the heat inside. And he'd say, Kirsch, look at this floor, it's all wet. And there were many times when we come in the morning before school started, and Flett always got here early in the morning. Good grief. I got here at 6:30. He's always here before that. He would be down there wet mopping the floor because it flooded. And that constantly happened until we finally fixed it with drain tile and all that good stuff. That's who he was. Or he'd be out front greeting kids. Or he'd be making, the path from this building to the old school building, the nice paved road. One summer, he took a digger or something, and he made his own path from there to there. He said, what'd you do that for? So I don't want to walk through the grass anymore. So that path that's there was created by Mr. Flett. And I hope that all of you remember him in kindness, in love, because that's what he was for you. He really cared for you. The pictures are pretty ugly, aren't they? I gotta pull these up. There's your friend, Fu Manchu Flett. And you parents that are here, you allow this man to teach your kids. Shame on you.
Brad, I gotta show him.
What?
So this is how he looked when I met him. My kids still wonder what I saw in him. He was the hottest looking guy, I thought, but that's how he looked, big glasses and all. He looked like that. I did for a while. You can see I tried, but then he kind of went backwards again at the end.
He was truly my friend. One year he bought my brother's Corvette. We went down to Indiana. He didn't have a car to drive in. He was riding his motorcycle. And he said, I'm going to go down and buy your brother's Corvette. And I said, Flett, you can't drive that in the winter. He says, well, I'm going to. And he did. So the gym dedication is something he wouldn't want, but it's something he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
And I honor St. Peter for giving this opportunity, because they don't dedicate much stuff around here that way. But to dedicate it to a man who gave his life for children. Let's applaud Doug Flett. And Pastor, he was obnoxious sometimes, wasn't he? Sometimes. Lori, this is the plaque that St. Peter is dedicating to Mr. Flett. Do you think you could read it? Let's see if she can do this. You can do it.
The Doug Flett Memorial Gymnasium, dedicated to the memory of Doug Flett in recognition of a lifetime commitment. I told you I couldn't do it.
We're almost there.
Yeah, to sharing the love of Jesus. 1971, 2015, God's blessings.
Thank you from my heart to your heart for loving this man and coming tonight and dedicating this gym. Cindy, I'm done.
Thanks be to God for bringing Doug here. That's all I can say. Thanks be to God.
Oh, Cindy, am I supposed to introduce somebody? Cindy, I'm supposed to introduce somebody, right? All right, keep me on task, okay? Thank you. Blessings, everybody.
That's what it's called.